Welcome everyone, Publisher Weekend is here. Mega Sim, thank you Dovetail Games for inviting us to be a part of this lovely weekend with the Steam sale. And so what we're going to do is we're going to try and replicate a real life service from Penzance to St Austell as far as we can, which will be about 56-ish minutes. So what we're going to do is we're going to set this train up. I'm going to go through each part of this with you. So we turn the master key on, we'll put it into neutral. What we're going to do is we're going to press the arrows on my keyboard left and left so I can turn on the AWS and the DSD, and I press Q. Even though I am on a PC, I've got my keyboard, I've got my mouse, I've also got my Xbox controller, so I am also going to be using that today. We need to put our power on. As you know, with this is a 395, but we have made it look like an 800. Thank you Jason PFC for creating the livery for that. We're going to use a DC, the DC power instead of the CTRL, so we're using the third rail instead of the overhead. Main reason I'm doing that is because with the diesel power of a Class 800, it's not as powerful as the overhead, so I'm trying to kind of keep it as lifelike as possible. That's why I'm using the DC, the third rail, over the CTRL, so the acceleration is very similar. But anyway, yes, we're at Penzance, which last week I was actually at, and I went on this very service, which is the 1615 Class 800 9-car service to London Paddington. So that's what we're doing today. We are literally trying to replicate the service I went on. The only difference is by 4:15 it was chucking it down with rain, and by about 5 o'clock it was pitch black, which we don't want, because we want to be able to see this train anyway in Penzance. We want to have a good look around at all the scenery that this level has to offer. I will be talking more about why I've chosen the 395 on this route, and what layers you need, and a little bit more information about West Cornwall local. But yeah, off we go. This is a good livery anyway, very good livery. So I was here last week, as I said, so I literally came out of the station, and actually just there where the dot is, that's where I stood to take some photos of the St Michael's Mount, or as the French call it, Le Mont Saint Michel, and then also a bit of the beach and the seafront. So went through here, through this car park, looked at a few boats there, and then went up into the town. But as I said, I'll be talking more about that in a bit. Excuse me. Oh, let's not speed. Anyway, so looking at the route itself. So the route itself is from River Games, so they are a third-party partner of Trains in World. So they have their own offices up in Scotland, etc., or the head office is in Scotland, and they have created a few different routes for Trains in World. Just recently, we had the ScotRail Express. I keep saying Gatwick, and then when I say Glasgow, I say Cathcart. No, Glasgow Queen Street to Edinburgh Waverley with the Class 385. Amazing route. I know that there have been some issues with the PlayStation with the TMS, but that should be rectified by next week. But no, really good route. I love the TMS with the passenger announcements. But yeah, so West Cornwall local. The reason why we're doing this on the Publisher Weekend is because on Steam this route is 50% off, which is pretty good. 50% off. And the reason why is probably because we've got the up and coming expansion pack with steam trains. So I say steam trains plural, I don't know, we haven't got any other information around what train we're going to get, but that's why it is on offer. But it is a really good route. With this route today, we are using the Class 395 that comes from Southeastern High Speed. So just as a reminder, if you do want to play this route, so this scenario that I'm creating, and I will upload it to Creators Club for you to have a look, you do need a couple of layers. Now we will go through them as we go through the game, out through this route, because there are going to be a couple of little surprises of extra trains that need to be placed on here. I forgot to mention that's where the depot is at Penzance, so they usually keep the Night Riviera during the day. That is kept there, so you know, when you come here during the day, you'll see it parked up, ready and raring to go before it starts heading back up to Paddington to arrive in the morning. So the 395 is a long lost cousin. It's a distant cousin of the Class 800, hence we are using it. Hey look, there's a HSD castle set. That is one of the layers that you do need for this scenario. You do need Gatwick Express. Gatwick Express, again, what is going on in my head at the moment? Great Western Express, you need that to be able to use the HSD on here. The 395, which we're in now, we'll be using the Southeastern High Speed layer on that as well. So you do need 3 DLCs. You need Southeastern High Speed, Great Western Express and West Cornwall Local to be able to use this scenario that I've created. So I've kept it as realistic as possible by looking at all the timetables that are set. This one leaves at 4:15. That one comes in, it actually comes in at 12 minutes past 4, that train, because I remember seeing it. But just for this route, this scenario, I've made it come in a little bit later, so it just looks really cool coming in. So anyway, long cousin of the 395 and the 800, so they are related from Hitachi. So they are very similar in certain ways. The only difference really on the front, you know, we've got these things here. So they are not on the Class 800, but it does look very similar, as you can see. The only difference is the 810 for East Midlands Railway, that has quite a different front, quite a different nose. But that's because they've set up the train in a totally different way and they're trying to squeeze as many seats in as possible. Anyway, coming into St Earth in 1.7 miles. Start driving in. So we do have the AWS and TTP Big WS. You know, we've got all of that on here because this route has got it. This train actually utilises that as well, so we do get them coming through, which is quite nice. Because there are some routes that are old enough to not have it, so you just got to be, you know, Liverpool Lime Street, for example. With Spirit of Steam, there are no safety systems, so nothing's going to come through. After going on ScotRail Express Glasgow to Edinburgh, it is weird not going here and clicking the announcements, you know, and getting them coming up on the train. So yeah, it is a bit weird because, you know, Rivet are really good. So they have got quite a few routes that have come out now, and they've just as they've built on them, you know, they've got a lot better. Think of Isle of Wight 2021. That is a really cool route. Or is it 20? Whatever one it is with the Class 484, 2022, because it did come out in 2022. You know, that is amazing. You know, all the extra things that they've done on there. But yeah, I really like that route. So they're building on that, and I think Rivet are kind of We're going to go over. What is going on with the brakes? Never mind. First stop, and I've already ruined it. Oh, okay, yeah. We're stopping here because we've actually got 12 cars, so we should stop there. Yeah. Anyway, the only difference here is we do have a Class 150 from West Cornwall Local with a GWR livery. Look at that, looks lovely. This train itself should be at St Ives, but again, for the sake of the scenario, I really wanted to see the 150. Hence, we've got it stuck here at St Earth. Also, what happens on this Class 800 is the front of the train usually stops here, and it's usually the back of the train that doesn't actually stop at the station. So all the way from Penzance up to Plymouth, the rear of the train does not stop at the station. We were at the back of the train when we were travelling on there, so we didn't need to get out because we went to Paddington. But what's really cool is we do have some train real world videos coming up. So it was a train journey, a day of trains, where we went from Derby all the way down to Cornwall and back again at a slightly different route. So keep an eye out for those train real world videos. They are really good. Well, I say really good, I've not even started editing them yet. So I've got all the clips. I've stitched them all together. I just need to figure out what bits I want, what bits I want to cut out. Do I want to add music? Do I want to add some narration? You know, and also times where I was chatting through the clips. So I'm going, okay, that needs to be silenced because I don't want me just talking about any old rubbish, not about the train whilst videoing. But yeah, it was really nice, especially, you know, going from Plymouth to Penzance and going over Saltash and the bridge there. Whereas on the way back, by this time it was pitch black, so you couldn't see a thing. Well, I could kind of see the bridge, but it wasn't great, and the camera couldn't pick it up either. But no, we're going to Hayle next. Hayle's the next stop. As I said, we are going to see a couple of other trains on here. HSTs, Class 800 GWRs, you know, the usual, because it's really nice to be able to have that. And they are accurate trains now. From now on, those two, the HST and the 150, weren't accurate. They were just to look good. But from now on, these are accurate trains that I've set to leave at the right time on the timetable. If they arrive at the wrong time afterwards because of, you know, I'm doing it again. I'm not paying attention. I need to pay attention. I'm just talking to you lot too much. Leave a chat, you know, on the live chat, on the commenting, you know. Let me know. Am I doing pretty good on this? Probably not. But yeah, sorry. What was I saying? With the loading and unloading of the train, it may skew up with the timetable, but when they started, they were on the right time. Right, coming into Hayle now. So my friend that I was with, you know, he's never been on this route, Plymouth to Penzance, so he really enjoyed that. He said it would look very much like Derbyshire, and I said, yeah, but with the sea either side. And there was a lot of viaducts in Cornwall, so that was really nice to have a look at. Okay, so again here it's not accurate because you don't actually go out that way. The front of the train stays in the station, but the rear of the train is outside of the station. I can't get it entirely accurate because, you know, these 395s are in 6-car sets. Oh, there's another 800. They are all 6-car sets, so we've got 12 cars here, whereas the IETs are in 5-car sets or 9-car. So we were on a 9-car set on the way back at the back, so not entirely accurate, but I don't mind. It's still a really good, you know, journey to have. Shut the doors. Let's get going to Camborne now. So talking of the train itself, so the 800 does have a diesel engine running the electric motors, and then it's got the overhead electric. So not everywhere across the GWR network has diesel, has overhead, catenary. In the same way as the LNER Azumas, the Hull trains, the Avantis, when they'll get them, the Auroras from East Midlands Railway, and the Novas from Transpennine Express. So, you know, they have the dual motors. Now, we were on a Class 800, which does have smaller engines or less powerful engines to the 802s, 801s and 802s that GWR have. But yeah, so it's not as powerful. It does take a while to accelerate, whereas the overhead electric is a lot quicker in terms of the acceleration. And that is something that me and my friend were thinking about last week. So we were on the we were going from St Pancras to Derby, and we're on the class 222 meridians, so East Midlands meridians, yeah. So if you don't know, the meridians, the 222s are like the better version of the Voyagers, the Virgin or the Avanti and the cross-country Voyagers. They were the 220s and 221s, which had tons of problems, but the 222s had no issues because the 221s and the 220s were kind of like the test bed. So anyway, so we're accelerating away from the station, and it is a really good acceleration, much better than a HST, but it's not as comfy. But anyway, it is a comfy train though. But the acceleration is amazing. But these trains here, the 800s, the 80Xs, 8XX, because you know you've got 810s soon. The acceleration is not amazing. It doesn't go as quickly as the overhead, and East Midlands Railway is pretty much diesel because the overhead electrics only go so far up the country. So how can the train go quicker or go faster, acceleration, all of that, than the meridians? Because they're replacing it and they have to be like for like because of the timetable. So are they accelerating as quickly as the meridians? Let me know in the chat or in a comment. What do you think? Do you think the meridians and the auroras, as they're going to be calling them, are they going to be like for like? They're not in terms of the seats. No, not at all. I think there was a DFT post the other day, and it was saying about HSTs going, but it was saying, you know, they're going to replace the fleet, GWR, with more fuel efficient, more economical, and comfier trains. Do they not sit on the standard class seats on an IET? Even the first class seats aren't that great. If you compare that to, if I was given a first class IET or a standard class Meridian, I would go standard class Meridian every time. It's so much more comfy. And that's the problem with it. Yeah, that was it. So round here, so this is a level crossing where I stayed last year, and here, round here is like a farm. Begins with T, ends in S, and they do strawberry picking. And oh my goodness, these strawberries are amazing. They really are. Just being able to pick your own strawberries. So we did it with the kids, and I kid you not, my daughter did like 1-2 kilos of it, and we said don't get carried away, and she just went, oh, I'm having every one of them, and she loves strawberries. And I remember buying some local double cream as well, and oh, it was nice, strawberries and cream, back in July. Yeah, really nice place to go strawberry picking. Those strawberries were gorgeous, because I prefer Kent strawberries. So if I go to the supermarket and they have Kent strawberries, I usually choose them over any other county. I don't know what you're like with your strawberries, you know, especially in the UK. They're from all over the country. Scottish strawberries and English strawberries from different areas, but I always go for Kent strawberries. I just like them. They're just quite nice. But yeah, these Cornish ones were amazing. They were really nice. So there are some other deals going on for the Publisher Weekend, which Dovetail have promoted, so you'll be able to know all about them. Even the discount on Train Sim World 3 as well. So you've got the Train Sim World 3 Standard or Deluxe Edition. Just remember the Deluxe Edition also includes Spirit of Steam, so that's a really good route to have. And it has been TSW3ified. So effectively what they've done is they've given it the new clouds and lighting and, you know, rain and people and all of that. So yeah, it's a really nice route, and I really am looking forward to the Steam route rail tour that's going to be coming on this one on West Cornwall Local. So yeah, I've not actually zoomed in. So you know, there is a picture of a steam train on one of these viaducts, but I've not looked at it. I've not looked at it in that way, so I'm not sure exactly what train it is. But you know, you may put on the live chat now, Megasim, it's this. Well, yeah, great, but I've not looked. I should look right now. I might in a bit, but not at this very moment in time, because we're coming up to Camborne, and I want to make sure that I get into the station correctly and not overrun. I don't think we'll spad, but I don't want to overrun the station. Camborne's a really nice station for me. I actually went from Camborne last year. So we had our car, you know, full family, dogs, everything. Came down in a full car, so we got to a point where we were staying between Hayle and Camborne near that farm, and we didn't have enough room for all of us. Didn't have enough room. And what we did in the end was me and two of the kids went on the train. So we went on the train from Camborne to Newquay, because we went from Morganporth down to round here and then back again. Went to Morganporth again for another, you know, week or so. Oh no. Oh, this is the problem I get, because I can never remember what. Look at me. I am. No, what one was it? I'm trying to remember now. There we go. Okay. Right, that was it. You have to reset it. There we go. So I totally ruined that. Sorry. Should have had the brakes on. That's why the door's shut. This is going so well for me. Urgh. Never mind. What's really funny is I did this yesterday. This whole route, 56 minutes. And then my video corrupt, so it didn't work. So that's why I'm re-recording it. So I'm trying to remember what I said before. Anyway, let's try and get back up to it, because I think we're running a bit behind schedule at the moment. But yeah, Camborne was where we went on a HST from Camborne to Par, and then Par to Newquay on an IET, going like 25 miles an hour on the IET up the hills. It was really weird. But yeah, got a couple of photos here, right there. But yeah, if you want to have a look, there is a Train Real World video where we went on there. And what's really nice is the train driver did allow me and the kids to go into the cab when we got to Newquay, and the kids were able to sit in the seat. We got a couple of photos of them sitting in the driver's seat, the most comfiest seat on the train, because you know ironing board seats aren't very comfy. But yeah, you know, it was a good trip. And then when we went from Morganporth back home again, the wife dropped me off, and me and the kids off at Bodmin Parkway, and we took the train home. Bodmin Parkway to Paddington, Paddington to Spankers, Spankers to Derby. It was great. It was so good. Yeah, let me know what your favourite DLC is on Train Sim World. For me, I've got a mixture. So I love Great Western Express because of, you know, being on there before, and I like Gatwick, the London Commuter as well. I like that as well. I like routes that I've been on myself. They're the ones that I enjoy the most, because I'm able to remember parts of the route and go, oh yeah, it's just like that. Oh yeah, I remember this. Oh, I remember that. And that's what I really like. Funnily enough, you know, sometimes it's like, well, that's not like that, or that building isn't there, and that one's gone. But it just happens over the years. You know, things disappear and get rebuilt, and things don't look right because it's like a special apartment block that isn't in Trains World's data. It's just, oh yeah, we just put a building there. But it's nice to go on something that you've been on in real life. So I don't know if you've done that. Have you got a DLC or a route that is next door, you know, kind of where you live? Or are there, you know, any routes where you're like, you know, this is a really good one? Because don't put it in live chat, please don't. But if you do have a recommendation, just send an email to Dovetail with some feedback of some, you know, requests, and you never know. And also on the Dovetail forums, because if you've got enough information, if it's something that Dovetail go, you know what, that's a really good route to have, it could go into the mix. But yeah, please do not put your requests on the live chat, because I'll get told off. Okay, coming up to Redruth now. Okay. Okay, got to get down to 40. It's really nice being able to go under these viaducts, so we can see the viaducts from here, but actually being down there, look, watching the trains going over. Ah, it's great. I love it. Absolutely love doing that. And this is a nice route to go on yourself. You can actually buy a day ticket. I think it's like 13-14 quid. It might be different now, but you can get like a day rover from Plymouth to Penzance, and you can go on any train throughout the day, which is a really nice thing. I do like that, because I've been on most of these branch lines. I've been on the St Ives branch line, the Falmouth branch line from Truro, the Loo branch line from Liscard as well. So yeah, I've been on all of them in that way, and now I've done the whole thing both on HST and IET as well. Okay. Let's open those doors. But the thing is that with the West Cornwall local, as you can see, you're kind of all over the place, and you could be at the bottom of Cornwall, to the top of Cornwall, to the top, and then to the bottom, and then to the top, and it's just kind of a weird way. I'm doing this, and I've got my mouse, and I'm not. You can't even see my mouse. Oh no! Do you know what I've forgotten? And you're probably all going to tell me now. My daylights. My daylights weren't even on. Oh, gotta get told off now. That's it. Network Rail are going to cancel my driver license now. I totally forgot. Because I was thinking about setting all this up, I totally forgot to do the lights. Oopsie. Right, next stop, Truro. And that's the thing. Between Truro and St Austell, we've already like just over halfway through, but we've stopped at more stations than the next three. You know, well, two, Truro and St Austell. It is Truro and St Austell. Yeah, it is. Whew. I was panicking there, going, I'm not giving you the right information. I do find the IET a little annoying in terms of the noises. So you've got the, you know, the noise that you have on the 395, the, you know, that sort of noise. You can hear that inside quite easily, and you hear the sound of the engines of the diesel engine, you know, the diesel engines as well. So it is a lot of noise when you're in there. You know, all you hear is and, you know, kind of most of the time, unless they're in coast mode, unless they're coasting. So yeah, they are a really weird train. Now, tell me if I'm wrong, but aren't these trains for like commuter, not for long distance? They've not been designed for that. Maybe they're designed for a bit of speed and things, but they're not designed for a long distance trip. You know, 4:15 when you leave Penzance, you arrive at London Paddington at 9:30 at night. That's a long time. So are they used as commercial, as commuters, you know, as in short trips in Japan, but we use them as long trips over here? Because, you know, that then starts going into it. Because even with the seats, so they are uncomfy. Now, East Midlands Railway have showcased their seats. You can go to Sheffield, Nottingham, Derby, and there's a mixture between first class and standard class seats. And you're able to go on them. Now, Sheffield has first class, Derby has standard. I'm not sure what Nottingham have. But then still not comfy. They're saying they're comfier than the Zoomers, they're comfier than the IETs. Yes, maybe a tiny bit, but they are still not comfy. And I remember going on the Sheffield ones. If you have a look at my Train Real World video, there is a video, and I'm on the first class East Midlands that were declassified. So I'm on a first class seat, and I'm like, yeah, this is lovely, comfy, leather seat, great, yeah. And then I sit on the Aurora, and I'm just going, and I'm like, oh, it's uncomfortable. It's not great. So yeah, I don't know why they feel they are comfier. But, you know, yes, they've got a load of fire safety things, you know, that they've got to pass, and they're not going to be as comfy as a HST seat or a seat on the 225, you know, with the Class 91s with LNER, you know, or the Meridians, or even the Voyagers, you know. And maybe even the 395s, I think they have a slightly comfier seat because they are older. But yeah, I keep talking about seats. Oops. Yeah, I will be... so as at point of recording, this is Tuesday, 24th. So yeah, tomorrow I will be going down to London on the Meridians. So I get to go on them whilst they're still around. So yeah, looking forward to going on that. Going down to London Bridge. And I will mention this, so not many of you know this, and I want to say it. I don't think I said it in the last Dovetail, but I'm going to say it now. Did you know that when you book a ticket to London, it doesn't say to London St Pancras, it says to London terminals. Now, if you Google that, if you search for it, of London terminals and how the tickets work, you can actually get from one terminal to the other, as long as there is national rail services to there, you can get from one part of London to the other terminal included in your ticket. Okay? Example. I'm coming from Derby to St Pancras. I need to get to London Bridge. London Bridge is classed as a London terminal. I can go downstairs into the Thames Link and carry on my journey and not have to pay any extra. Zilch. If I was to come in from Bracknell or Bournemouth or whatever, and you come into London Waterloo, and then you want to go to Charing Cross, or you want to go to London Bridge, you can go over to Waterloo East, because it's still connected, get on there to London Bridge or Charing Cross, and it's still a London terminal. How cool is that? Because I know someone that every time he goes down to London, he then gets on the underground and has to pay every time. And I'm going, you don't have to. So yeah, London terminals, look it up. It's a really cool feature. And whilst we're on the fact of tickets, because, you know, I'm sad like this, and who cares, is there's also a special ticket that you can buy, which is London International. Now, if you were to get the Eurostar from St Pancras to France, to Belgium, to Netherlands to, you know, etc. If you get the train down and your train's delayed and you miss your Eurostar, you're done for. Yeah? Usually. It's like, well, tough. If you buy a ticket, which you can buy at the ticket office, so you can't buy it online, but if you buy it at the ticket office and you say, I want to go to London International, and there is a special code, you know, like station codes like DB Wise Derby, there's one for the London International. If you buy that, it's like a European agreement that if your train is delayed, Eurostar, part of that agreement, will put you on the next train. No charge, you know, next train. Because it's the whole journey. If you were late to get there, Eurostar will go, your fault. Nope, if you get a London International train ticket, you're covered. How cool is that? That's amazing. So, if and when I go on the Eurostar, I'm going to do that. And even if you are, I don't know, in Bracknell, Wokingham, Reading, whatever, and you decide to do that and go to St Pancras, well, just get a ticket to London International. You need your Eurostar ticket, so the ticket man on board, the ticket person on board will then go, okay, where's your Eurostar ticket to prove that you are going to London International? But that's fine, that's easy enough, because you wouldn't buy. And anyway, you've got to buy the ticket at the ticket office, and they'll need to check you have a Eurostar ticket before they allow you to. But anyway. So yeah, there's two bonus things that I've let you know about, you know, in terms of tickets. Now, I wish the UK had annual passes that were really, you know, cheaply priced. You know, DB in Germany, they do like an annual pass that is a really decent price. Over here, you're paying thousands. You know, there it's like, here's a price, you can go anywhere you want. I would love that. Absolutely love that. Right, coming into Truro now. Oh yeah, I've got a nice cup of tea. What's your drink of choice for today's video? Today's stream, is it a cup of tea? Okay, start slowing down. Wow. Oh, excuse me. It's nice seeing the old signals as well on the West Cornwall local, and they still have them. They still have them. Even at the end of this Truro station. And Truro actually has a Night Riviera lounge. So Penzance has one that can be used for first class as well, and Truro has a lounge as well, just for Night Riviera customers. And I actually did a Train Real Well video just sitting at Truro, just taking it all in, you know, being able to see the trains coming in and out. It was really good. Okay, and yeah, this is the one that I'm talking about. It's lovely. And the Truro Night Riviera Lounge is like round here, but it's like a new building. It's not part of the station. I think it's like a new, like, external building that they've put underneath here. So it's nice to be able to do that. Oh, look at this. Calling it St Austell. The next stop is St Austell. Yeah, there's loads of different liveries that have been created on Creators Club. So take a look. There's tons of different things. some amazing liveries, and also some scenarios as well. You know, there's the scenario I made when it came out last year on the London Underground, where I kept it simple. I literally just put a train in front. So we were at Elephant and Castle, and I just put it onto Lambeth North and said, that's the train, and it just did it. So it was always stuck behind a train with red signals. Such a simple thing, because you don't get to see any other train up to Queen's Park, and that's all I did. I just stuck it on there, and there have been so many subscriptions for it. So even just the simple things, you know, are really good. And there's some great liveries out there, some really nice liveries that are available on here. And as they get more licensing, you know, more stickers will be able to be, you know, added. So here's Truro. There's the Truro Cathedral, and oh yes, this lovely viaduct. I remember going under it a few times, seeing the trains going over the top. Look at that. It's gorgeous. So yeah, St Austell in 13 miles. If you haven't heard of my channel before, why don't you subscribe? So we are showcasing Train Sim World, Train Simulator, other game, you know, other simulation games, and also, as I've said a few times in this video, we do have our Train Real World videos. So when I travel for work, and actually the one that I did last week that's coming out soon wasn't actually for work. So usually I just kind of go, I'm going up to Scotland, I'm going to video it and post it and have, you know, a lot of fun doing that. But no, that trip that I took down to Cornwall was just to go on the HSTs. Just that. HSTs, and then coming home. And I document it online, you know, with YouTube, so you can all have fun watching it with me, but it literally was, that was the reason, going down and back again. It was great. It was so good. So you never know. You could have seen me last week on the train. You could have been sat at the station looking at the trains and then going, oh, who's that guy? And yeah, it was me. You missed me. And I've had that before where I was on a train and I got off and a guy ran past me to take some photos of the front of the train, and I was walking up there, and then he watches the video going, that was me! That was me. I was in your video, so that means you were right at the station with it. Didn't know. Ah, well, I'm very mysterious. I hide myself. I just turn up at a place, do my thing, and then upload it, and then people then start getting excited, going, I saw you but didn't know. I did one at the one where I went to see the HSTs in Nottingham, and there was a guy that went, I saw myself on your video, you walked past me. Well, that's how it works. I just turn up, do it, and then people realise it later. It's great. Now, I did this video yesterday, before I corrupted, of course. I did it yesterday in 56 minutes. I'm not sure I'm going to do it in 56 minutes, because Dovetail have said, please keep it between 50 and an hour, 50 minutes and an hour. So I hope I get to do it. I hope I get to do it in under an hour, because, you know, other things happen. They need to play it. They need to, other things get, you know, delayed and stuff like that. So hopefully we can get there in under an hour. Bling. What I like is on this here, see you've got wiper mode part right. You can actually move the wipers, look, to the left or the right. So if you haven't noticed that before, that's a really cool button to press. So you can put it on left or right. I prefer it on right. The only reason why is because I'm used to it on the right. So when I have it on the left, I get a bit of an OCD and go, ooh, it's not in the right place. Oh, need to slow down to 60. There we go. Over we go. Back up to 65. Bling. Oh, wrong way. So are there any DLCs or some routes that you're looking forward to this year? You know, with some of the pictures that we had at the beginning of this year, is there anything that's kind of taken your fancy? I think the Acela Express is a good one. I'm really looking forward to seeing that. The German route, that's going to be a really good one as well. The steam train, you know, the rail tour, that's really nice. I'm looking forward to seeing what Dovetail are going to announce for them. You know, what's the next big thing? What's the next big route? You know, is it going to be Train Sim World, the next one? You know, there's usually like an update that happens every year. Is it going to be a big change in that? Is there going to be some even more changes? You know, we've got the sparks on the rails and, you know, third rail and catenary on the pantograph. We've got the thunder and lightning. We've got the better passengers, you know, now that they've got umbrellas and different clothing depending on what time of year it is. You've got snow that settles. You've got the train sounds, you know, where they're implementing things from Armstrong Powerhouse or doing real decent recordings. That's what I like. It's just becoming a lot better. Every time there's a new update, there's always going to be something better that comes out that will enhance our experience on trains on this. But remember, it is still just a simulation, so there's only so much they can do, because, you know, people say that doesn't sound right, or that doesn't look right, or the lighting's off, or something simple like that. But you've also got the limitations of the hardware itself. You know, at the moment I'm on a PC. I'm on quite a beefy PC, not really beefy, but a beefy PC. It runs quite well. Xbox Series X, it works really well, but like Xbox Series S, Xbox One, PS4, it struggles a bit because of the RAM and things like that that's associated with it. So Dovetail are kind of giving us these new features, but at the same time they are tackling the difference in hardware. You know, what's available and what it can cope with, what it can handle. But, you know, even just with Rivet Games, with this passenger announcements, that's a first, and it's great. Absolutely love it. But when will Dovetail bring that out? Is that going to be coming out soon on one of their upcoming routes? I hope so. It's a really good one. I do like it because it kind of enhances that. And funnily enough, just thinking about it, Rivet Games, so with the ScotRail Express in Edinburgh, there's an advert and it says Revite eau de toilette, and it was an advert for an eau de toilette. Is that like some sort of Easter egg? Is that something that they're telling us that their next route's going to have the ability to access a toilet on the train? That would be great. I would love that. But that's the thing, you know, are there Easter eggs in these games, in these things? Not ones that are blatant things that, you know, JD putting up his chat to Rivet going, I know you've got sparks, but, you know, we need to talk about the sparks that we bring into Train Sim World 3. Yeah, come on. That was funny. But, you know, an Easter egg that's obvious but not obvious. So yeah, eau de toilette, are we going to get toilets? Because Dovetail have said no, we're not going to be modelling a toilet. So come on, Rivet, if you're watching this, if you're thinking about it, on your next route, give us a toilet so we can open the door and we can go in. And that's what I want to see. That's what I want to see. I want to see a working toilet. Not a working toilet, but, you know, I don't mind if it flushes or not. But did you see the lifts, the elevators? Oh, that was amazing. I love how you can press the button, the lift comes up, you walk in, press the button, and down you go. Oh, that's great. But yeah, let me know what are you most looking forward to this year that we know about. Because that's the thing, if it's not on the roadmap, it's not being done. That's the big reminder, you know, that we keep getting. You know, think of the HST. The HST is going to get livery added to this year. So who's going to be creating ScotRail? Who's going to be creating... Yeah, ScotRail for the Glasgow, Edinburgh and the Glasgow Cathcart Circle. Who's creating cross-country so we can start using it on the West Cornwall local? Who's going to create the different GWR logos? The Merlin, the Fag Packet. You know, all those different liveries that we can have for Great Western. Are we going to have the Intercity 125? Are we going to have the Swallow? Are we going to have the Blue Intercity? There are so many different liveries that the HST has got. Rail Adventure. Think of those. I know we're not going to be able to put buffers on, but the Rail Adventure one, how cool is that to be able to see? East Midlands Trains, East Midlands Railway, LNER, GNER. The list goes on and on and on. But one request I do have. So if you are one of those people that create liveries, I would love for you to start looking at and documenting the XPT. So it's the Class 43, it's the HST, but down in Australia. If you can create a livery with the XPT colours, I would absolutely love that. Absolutely love it. That'd be gorgeous to see. So shortly arriving at St Austell. So not too long till we get there, 2.5 miles. Is that going to be done in 4 minutes? I think I might be going over those 56 minutes. I know I'm looking at the time, but this is such a good route. I don't want to get it cut off. I don't want to cut off this route. Because there are other routes I could have done which were like 30 minutes, but what's the point? But, you know, we've got this. But yeah, you know, we've got the 64 mile an hour, so we are trying to keep as close as we can to this as we come into St Austell station. Okay, there's our yellow, and the red is going to be at St Austell station. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this video documenting West Cornwall Local. As I mentioned, West Cornwall Local is 50% off at the moment on the Steam Publisher Weekend sale. So why don't you grab it if you can, and then if you want to use my scenario, definitely go for it. I'm going to upload it after I've uploaded this video, after I've sent it to Dovetail. I'm going to send it off, put that on there. I say I need to. First I need to just remember to document some of the train. I don't know. No, I'm not going to document the train times. I'm just going to say this is the train you're on, and for you to try it out for yourself. But no, thank you so much for watching. If you want to have a look at some of my other videos, be my guest, Mega Sim. If you just look that up, you'll be able to see all my other videos. Subscribe and help the channel out. But yeah, it's been a really nice run on here, and hopefully you've enjoyed it too. Here we are, coming into St Austell. Our final call. And just imagine me going all the way to Paddington now. here we are. 55 minutes, so I've actually got here quicker than when I did it yesterday. And there we are. Done. There we are. What a lovely train. Class 395, 800 service from Penzance to St Austell. Have a great rest of your weekend, the publisher weekend. Plenty more videos coming from Ambassadors and from Dovetail Games. Thank you once again, Dovetail, for inviting me on this weekend. And yeah, have a good one, everyone. This is Mega Sim out of here. See you later, guys. Bye.